perfect day is not the one that starts with coffee or tea, but the perfect one is that which starts with you. Very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I, Veena Modi, would like to be the host for today's function. Before the start, let me acknowledge you with today's chief guests. Dr. Medhavini S. Katti ma'am, Registrar, Evaluation, GULBARGA University, Kalaburagi. Dr. Rajashree Paladi ma'am, Professor and HOD, Department of OBG, KBN Institute of Medical Sciences, Kalaburgi. Dr. Bharti and Reshmi ma'am, President, Reshmi Educational and Charitable Trust, Kalaburgi. Dr. Shailaja Patil ma'am, Principal, Reshmi Degree College, Kalaburgi. Today, we all have gathered here to celebrate International Women's Day and present Kayaka Ratna Award to the awardees for their contribution and achievements in various fields. International Women's Day is celebrated on 8th March every year so as to mark the recognition and contribution of women in different fields. For 2022, the UN theme is Gender Equality Today for a Sustainable Tomorrow, which aims to recognize women who are working to build a more sustainable future for the upcoming generations. Not taking much time, let's commence today's function with the Invocation Song by Ms. Sudharani. Dr. Medhavini S. Katti ma'am. Ma'am has completed her SSLC education in KSEED, later higher education, MA, MPhil, PhD from GULBARGA University, Kalaburgi. Dr. Rajashree Paladi ma'am, Professor and HOD, Department of OBG, KBN Institute of Medical Sciences, Kalaburgi. She has been President, Kalaburgi Obstetrics and Gynecology Society. Ma'am is a chairperson of Genetics and Fetal Medicine Committee, Karnataka State. Ma'am is married to Dr. K. Sri Ramamurthy, Professor and retired HOD, Department of Anesthesia, MR Medical College, Kalaburgi. Ma'am is blessed with two sons, Dr. Aditya Khaja, MS Ortho, and Dr. Jayan Khaja, MS Ortho. Also, she passes overseas for professional career. Ma'am, truly you are an inspiration for all the upcoming girls and women. You motivate them to cultivate their career or build their career along with fulfilling the family responsibilities. I request all of you to please give a huge round of applause for the inspirational lady. And thank you so much, ma'am, for accepting our invitation. I request Shailaja Patil, ma'am, to please felicitate Paladi, ma'am.
gender inequality, whether deliberately or unconscious bias, makes it difficult for women to move ahead. International Women's Day was celebrated by the United Nations for the first time in 1975 and in 1977. Across the world, women depend more on, yes, have less access to natural resources and often bear a disappropriate responsibility for securing food, water, and fuel. As women bear the burden of climate impacts, they are also essential to leading and driving change in climate adaptation, mitigation, and solutions for a sustainable planet and a gender-equal tomorrow to be realized. We can't have climatic justice without gender equality. Let me conclude with these following words: the patience to listen, the willingness to understand, the power to care, a heart that can share, that is what makes you the most beautiful being of this universe. Happy Women's Day once again. Thank you.
On this auspicious occasion, I would like to express my gratitude to the President of Reshmi Education Trust, Srimati Dr. Bharti Reshmi. My heartfelt gratitude to all the members present on the dais, Dr. Shailaja Patil and the chief guest, Dr. MEDHAVINI KATTI, the invited faculty, the respected members and head of the institutions and various women who had the important post in this institution. Let me tell one thing. I have been to many centers to give talks. I have visited many places and many institutions, but I'm so proud today, so happy today, and so feel fulfilled that look at the women who are sitting on the stage here. You have your president, Dr. Bharti Reshmi, who is fulfilling the dream of her husband. What more can I say about this institution? I am overwhelmed. She took on the challenge which laid in front of her. She fulfilled the dream and didn't leave any of you all midway to continue the dream of her husband. That is what a woman is. And need I say more about what a woman can be? That is the power, that is the empowerment, that is what we ask for. And why is it that we need to celebrate a Women's Day? Is there a problem? Was it a problem? Could it be a problem? No. Women are there to fulfill whatever is destined and designed by the nature. Is it something abnormal to be a woman? Is what I feel every day whenever I give birth, help the woman to give birth and do a delivery or a cesarean. And let me confess here, many a times I go with my heart held in my hand to reveal that it is a female. Even today, there are many families who cry when they come to know that it is a girl baby, and sometimes I feel guilty for giving a girl baby to them, like as if it is my fault. You know, especially after doing a cesarean and then giving a girl baby, they said, पैसे भी खर्च हो गए, cesarean भी हो गया, और girl भी हो गया. How can we change this mindset of the society? What is it that has brought about this mindset in the society? Why is it that we are talking of women's empowerment, gender equality, gender equal opportunity, break the barrier, and so on and so forth, that every year the WHO comes with a new slogan of something and something to the woman. Now come to think of it, man, woman, continuation of the human race. What are we doing here? Yes? What are we doing here? We are just helping the nature in the continuity of the human race, and that's what we are destined for. And why this discrimination? Yes? So just to share a few thoughts of mine, that I would like to acknowledge the talk by Mr. Nagesh Herur, who very aptly said, and I too also agree with your thoughts, that men and women can never be equal. I see so many men here. I would challenge if any man can give birth to 2 babies. I'm here to help you. It's nature. The man has their qualities, the women have their qualities, and the best what we could do as a society or as an intellectual or as a buddhijeevi is that help them to do their best, help them to do their best. And that is what is about nature. Yes? So it's just that, as somebody was mentioning, that it's the biology which helps us or makes us or become what we are. And believe me, I am the only girl child for my parents. I am the only child. And in my childhood, I used to be like, why I'm not being deprived, why I'm not getting to do this, why I'm not getting to do this. And now, over the years, I have mellowed down. I understood, I feel, I believe that we are what we should be. And it reminds me of an example when you have heard of the name Indra Nooyi, who was the PepsiCo chief. Yes, she, after being allotted the post of the chief of the PepsiCo International, that is, which is a very, very big industry, she rushed home in her car, driving herself, because you know in the US there are not many people who have a chauffeur. She came driving home, and she was parking her car in the garage, and she heard her mother screaming out, "Indira, why are you late?" Then she says, "No, yeah, mom, I'm coming in." Then she says, "Whatever it is, you just go and get a packet of milk, your baby is hungry." So that is it. She's a nurturer, she's a caretaker, she's a responsible member. She heads the PepsiCo International. There are thousands of men working under her, but for her child, she's the mother. For her family, she's the member who nurtures the family. Because she's destined to be so, she's designed to be so, her hormones work so, and that is how she can be. Now, as a scientific person myself, or as a doctor, or as a medical person, I would say that, see, we are what we are because of our hormones. Men are what they are because of their hormones. And why they have happened? It's because of the chromosomes that we all inherit and become what we are. So why the problem? What is the problem? The problem is when the discrimination starts. The discrimination starts even in a group of women. Not that women are all equal or the same. You know, there's this jealousy, there's this competition, there's the ego, there's this everything which happens even in a group of women. But since we are comparing with men, then the competition is between man and woman, which is not really necessary to be so. I believe that. I don't believe in fighting for gender equality, because never the genders can be equal. You pump in the hormones, the main hormones for a woman, they get the qualities of a man. Believe me, by taking the androgens, by taking the testosterone, by taking so many hormones, even there are clinics in the world who go for gender transfer. Many things are happening in the world now. So it's not necessarily that we talk of man or we talk of the woman, we talk of healthy people or healthy individual. Yes? See, it took 60 years for the WHO to accept and celebrate the Women's Day after the representation. 60 long years. It started in the late 19th century, in the beginning of the 19th century, and late in the somewhere around 1960, it got accepted as a Women's Day or an International Women's Month, because the women felt that they were socially deprived, they were economically deprived, their rights were deprived, the health was deprived, their representation in the society was deprived, and that's how this movement started along, because before then we never heard of women going for any kind of rights or representation. Because of the availability of the education, the women were protected previously, because maybe you take about 500 years back, or 1,000 years back, the men are the gatherers, the women are the nurturers by nature. Yes? Now that there are increased number of opportunities and chances, there are increased availability and lot of communication and representation, the mindset has changed now. It's that, yes, a woman can do whatever a man does, and yes, a woman can achieve and be self-sufficient and reliant, and she needn't necessarily face the trauma, she needn't necessarily face the humiliation, she needn't necessarily face the deprivation caused by the society ruled by the men and dominated by the men. Yes, even today, we are fortunate that we are in India. We are very, very lucky, because our nation, the Bharat Mata, has given a lot of opportunities to the women. We have heard of lot of fighters in the nation. We have heard a lot of queens who have kept up their kingdom. And let me tell you here, even today, in the 400 or 500-year-old history of America, there's not been a single woman president of America, although we call it as the most developed nation. Agree with me? So, we have had women right from 1,000 years old and who have sacrificed and who have fought for their land, who have fought for their kingdom, who have fought for their husband, who have fought for their children. How many examples do we have here? So it's not necessarily that we are really wanting to make a representation for something. We want that it's high time you acknowledge that fact, and what has been devastated in the past 200-300 years, or because of the invasion of the Mughals or the Britishers, that women got to occupy a different role. Now we have to think about the history as to why we became so, and why it is only in the past 100 years or so that we are standing up for a cause. Yes? So these are a few of my thoughts which I wanted to share, because we have heard a lot of what the Women's Day is and how the Women's Day is celebrated or why it is celebrated. Heartily congratulations to the women who have been acknowledged here. Srimati Lakshmi Bai Wali, who has been an exemplary woman, who saw to it that her family thrives through in spite of the hurdles, and such a proud and hearty congratulations to Sudha Rani, who has been the nightingale of today's event, and I'm sure she is the Lata Mangeshkar of the institution, and she has really done us proud. And I was lost as I was hearing to her beautiful rendition of the song, and what a blessed soul that you are. I heartily congratulate Srimati Mahananda, who has given her services to the institution and has done very, very proud achievements in her kitty, that she has taught so many of you all. And definitely it's very tough as a woman that you take up a task to balance your family and your profession, and also do the best in the both fields.
ಮಾರ್ಚ್ 8ರಂದು ನಿಮಗೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಸಹ ತಿಳಿದಿರುವ ಹಾಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಭಾರತ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತ್ರವಲ್ಲ, ಇಡೀ ವಿಶ್ವದಾದ್ಯಂತ ಈ ಅಂತಾರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ಮಹಿಳಾ ದಿನಾಚರಣೆಯನ್ನು ನಾವು ಅತ್ಯಂತ ವಿಜೃಂಭಣೆಯಿಂದ, ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಉತ್ಸಾಹದಿಂದ ಆಚರಿಸ್ತಾ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ. ಇಂದಿನ ಒಂದು ಆಧುನಿಕ ಯುಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಹಿಳೆಯರ ಸ್ಥಿತಿಗತಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ರೀತಿಯ ಬದಲಾವಣೆಗಳಾಗಿವೆ, ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ರೀತಿಯ ಸುಧಾರಣೆಗಳು ಸಹ ಆಗಿವೆ. ಇಂದು ಎಲ್ಲ ವಲಯಗಳಲ್ಲೂ ಸ್ತ್ರೀ ತನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಸಾಧನೆಯ ಛಾಪನ್ನು ಮೂಡಿಸ್ತಾ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾಳೆ. ಅಂದರೆ ಕೃಷಿ ವಲಯದಿಂದ ಹಿಡಿದುಕೊಂಡು ಅದು ಕೈಗಾರಿಕೆ ಇರಬಹುದು, ವಾಣಿಜ್ಯ ಇರಬಹುದು, ವ್ಯಾಪಾರ ಇರಬಹುದು, ಅಥವಾ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಇರಬಹುದು, ಏರ್ಸ್ಪೇಸ್ ಇರಬಹುದು. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ IT ಮತ್ತು BPOಸ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿಯೂ ಸಹ 50% ಮಹಿಳೆಯರೇ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾರ್ಯನಿರತರಾಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಎಂಬ ಹೇಳುವುದು ಒಂದು ವಿಶೇಷವಾದಂಥ ಸಂಗತಿಯಾಗಿದೆ. ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯವನ್ನು ಕುರಿತು ಮಹಾತ್ಮ ಗಾಂಧೀಜಿಯವರು ಒಂದು ವಿಷಯವನ್ನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದು ಈ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ನೆನಪಿಗೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಅವ್ರೇನು ಹೇಳಿದಾರಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ, ಯಾವಾಗ ಒಬ್ಬ ಮಹಿಳೆ ನಡು ರಾತ್ರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ನಿರ್ಭೀತಿ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಓಡಾಡ್ತಾಳಲ್ಲವೋ ಆವಾಗಲೇ ಏನಾಗ್ತಪ್ಪ, ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯವನ್ನು ಲಭಿಸುತ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ ಮಹಾತ್ಮ ಗಾಂಧೀಜಿಯವರು ಹೇಳಿದಂಥ ಮಾತನ್ನು ನಾನಿಲ್ಲಿ ನೆನಪಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯ ಸಿಕ್ಕು ಇಂದು 75 ವರ್ಷಗಳು ಕಳೆದರೂ ಸಹ
ಅವ್ರ ಹೆಸರಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಪವರ್ಫುಲ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ನೋಡ್ರಿ. ಮೇಧಾವಿನಿ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಗೊತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಅದರಲ್ಲ ಅರ್ಥ. ನೀವು ಆ ಹೆಸರಿಗೆ ತಕ್ಕಂತೆ ಅವರು ಪವರ್ಫುಲ್ಲಾಗೇ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅನ್ನಿಸ್ತದೆ ನನಗೆ. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಮುಖ್ಯ ಅತಿಥಿಗಳು ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ರಾಜಶ್ರೀ ಪಾಲಾದಿ, ಖ್ಯಾತ ಪ್ರಸೂತಿ ತಜ್ಞರು, ಕಲಬುರಗಿ. ಇವರು ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು ವಿಷಯಗಳನ್ನು ನಮಗೆ ಆದಷ್ಟು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಯಾರಿಗೂ ಬೇಸರ ಆಗದಂತೆ ಅಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಸವಿಯಾದ ಮಾತುಗಳನ್ನು ಹೇಳಿ ನಮ್ಮನ್ನೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಪಿನ್ ಡ್ರಾಪ್ ಸೈಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಕೊಡುವಂತ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಅವರು. ಅಷ್ಟು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಇವತ್ತು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಇವತ್ತಿನ ದಿವಸ ಮಹಿಳಾ ದಿನಾಚರಣೆ ಅಂತ ಪುರುಷರಿಗೆ ತೆಗೊಳ್ಳೋದು, ಮಹಿಳೆಯರಿಗೆ ಇದು ಮಾಡೋದು ಅಲ್ಲ. ಒಂದು ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಹೆಜ್ಜೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಲಿಂಗಭೇದವನ್ನು ತೊಡೆದು ಸರಿಸಮಾನವಾಗಿ ನಡೆದಾಗ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಭೇದ ಭಾವಗಳನ್ನು ಬರೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ನನ್ನ ಅನಿಸಿಕೆ. ಇನ್ನು ಮುಂದೆ ಈಗ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ, ಅಮೇರಿಕಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಮಾಜವಾದಿ ಪಕ್ಷ ಒಂದು 1909 ಆಗಸ್ಟ್ ಫೆಬ್ರವರಿ 28ರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಮಹಿಳಾ ದಿವಸಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ನೀವು ಒಂದು ಮೀಸಲಾಗಿಡಬೇಕು, ಮಹಿಳಾ ದಿನಾಚರಣೆಯನ್ನು ಆಚರಣೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂತ ಅವರು ನಿರ್ಣಯ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಮುಂದೆ 1915ರಲ್ಲಿ ಪೆಟ್ರೋಗಾರ್ಡ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ಮಹಿಳಾ ದಿನಾಚರಣೆ ಕೂಡ ಆಚರಣೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಅದರ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ವಿಶ್ವಸಂಸ್ಥೆ ಕೂಡ 1975ರಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ಮಾರ್ಚ್ 8ರಂದು ಅವರು ಕೂಡ ಒಂದು ಮಹಿಳಾ ದಿನಾಚರಣೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ.
And one more example I am going to share with you, that is Chakravarti, Gayatri Chakravarti Spivak. She is a great Indian thinker, and she made an quotation, that is, can the subaltern speak? Can the subaltern speak? What do you mean by the subaltern? Can you know that? subaltern, it is a military term, means that lower rank. Means that lower rank. Why could she taken this term? Because subaltern is nothing but the women here. The male-dominated society, they had claimed that they have given a lower rank to the women. They cannot speak at all. The women, they cannot speak at all because of their boundaries and because of the restriction. Such kind of restriction created by this patriarchal society. So that's why she said that can the subaltern speak, because their voice is always muted. Change your life today and don't gamble on the future. Act now without delay. Thank you very much.
ತ್ಯಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ, ತಾಳ್ಮೆಯಲ್ಲಿ, ಮಮತೆಯಲ್ಲಿ, ಪ್ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದರಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಹೆಣ್ಣು ಗಂಡಿನಿಗಿಂತ ಶ್ರೇಷ್ಠಳಾಗಿದ್ದಾಳೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಈ ಪ್ರಕೃತಿಯನ್ನು ಹೆಣ್ಣಿಗೆ ಹೋಲಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಈ ನದಿಗಳನ್ನು ಹೆಣ್ಣಿಗೆ ಹೋಲಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಯಾಕೆ ನಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರನ್ನ ಹೊತ್ತಂಥ ಈ ಭೂಮಿಯನ್ನು ಹೆಣ್ಣಿಗೆ ಹೋಲಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಹೆಣ್ಣು ಎಂದೆಂದಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಗಂಡಿನಿಗಿಂತ ಶ್ರೇಷ್ಠಳಾಗಿದ್ದಾಳೆ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥ ಮಾತನ್ನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಇದಕ್ಕೊಂದು ಉದಾಹರಣೆ ಹೇಳಿಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ. ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿ ನನ್ನ ಮುಂದಿನ ಕಾರ್ಯವನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಈ ಪ್ರಕೃತಿ ಹೇಗಿದೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರಾಣಿ ಪಕ್ಷಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಗಂಡಿಗೆ ಸೌಂದರ್ಯವನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ನೋಡ್ರಿ ನೀವು, ಹೆಣ್ಣು ನವಿಲಿಗಿಂತ ಗಂಡು ನವಿಲು ಬಹಳ ಸುಂದರವಾಗಿದೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಆಕಳುಗಳಿರ್ತಾವಲ್ಲ, ಈ ಆಕಳಿಗಿಂತ ಎತ್ತು ಬಹಳ ಸುಂದರವಾಗಿದೆ. ಕೋಳಿಗಳಿಗಿಂತ ಹುಂಜ ಬಹಳ ಸುಂದರವಾಗಿದೆ. ಅಂದರೆ ಪ್ರಾಣಿ ಪಕ್ಷಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಗಂಡಿಗೆ ಸೌಂದರ್ಯ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದೆ ಈ ಪ್ರಕೃತಿ. ಆದರೆ ಮನುಷ್ಯರಲ್ಲಿ ಗಂಡಿನಿಗಿಂತ ಹೆಣ್ಣಿಗೆ ಸುಂದರವಾದಂತಹ ಸೌಂದರ್ಯವನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ಅಂದರೆ ಈ ಪ್ರಕೃತಿಯ ಸಾರಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದೆ ಹೆಣ್ಣು ಶ್ರೇಷ್ಠ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥ ಮಾತನ್ನು. ಸೊ ಮತ್ತೊಮ್ಮೆ ತಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಅಂತಾರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ಮಹಿಳಾ ದಿನಾಚರಣೆಯ ಶುಭಾಶಯಗಳನ್ನು ಕೋರುತ್ತಾ ನಮ್ಮ ರೇಷ್ಮೆ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆ
Thank you for watching GoHash. Like, share, and subscribe our channel.